We are canning up the freezer again today. Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Lynn and welcome. And yes, I am canning up my freezer again today. I'm slowly trying to get my way through some of the fruit, vegetables and things to make room for this year's harvest. Things that I knew I would probably get to in the winter. Now it's April. So we're a little late on getting some things done. But some of these things are actually for summer, so it's perfect timing. I want to give you a little update on the last thing I canned from my freezer, which was the strawberry lemonade concentrate. You have to make it. We made some for Aiden's birthday this week. It is delicious. I will say I cut the sugar by quite a bit. I think the recipe called for 6 cups and I think I put 4. I'm actually going to do 3 cups in my next batch, which I'm going to do blueberry lemonade concentrate later this week. It's still quite sweet. I know the recipe says 3 cups of water to 1 of those pints of strawberry concentrate, lemonade concentrate. I actually ended up adding, I think, closer to 5 cups because it was very sweet, but man, is it delicious. It tasted like summer. So I'll leave that up here somewhere if you want to watch how I did that. It is very good. You have to make it. So I hope this turns out as good as that did. So as I said, these recipes are actually in participation of summer cooking. I'm making from the Ball canning recipe cookbook, rhubarb barbecue sauce. Who knew? I didn't know you could make barbecue sauce with rhubarb. And this is my gorgeous rhubarb that I grew last year. I still have 1 more bag. If this tastes really good, that's probably what I'm going to do with the rest of it because I'll have plenty coming for rhubarb cobbler soon. So this is been defrosting all morning. It's still pretty frozen, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm really excited to try this. Now the recipe calls for 4 pint jars. I don't need that much barbecue sauce at one time, so I'm actually going to do it in 8 half-pint jars, which my grandmother used to call jelly jars, and I'm actually going to get them into the oven to keep them warm because we're going to be pouring this hot barbecue sauce into the jars, so I want them already quite warm, and you don't have to boil them. You can just keep them in the oven to keep them warm. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. So I have my oven on about 350 degrees. I'm just going to let them go for a few minutes and then I'll just turn off the oven and then they'll stay nice and toasty in there. I also have you're going to need a water bath canner for this recipe because this we don't have to pressure can because of the apple cider vinegar we're going to be using. It has a lot of acidity and rhubarb has acidity. So I have my canner going over on the stove right now, getting that ready to start boiling because it takes a while because I have an electric stove. You're also going to need a jar lifter, okay? You're going to need half a cup of chopped onion, which I've already started. As I said, you're going to need a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. We're going to need cinnamon, allspice, ginger, salt, brown sugar, and the recipe calls for raisins. I don't have any raisins, and to be honest, we're not huge raisin fans here. I do like them for a snack every once in a while. I actually don't like them in anything, I know, except bagels. But I have a lot of these dates still, and I'm going to use these in place of the raisins. Hopefully it doesn't change the taste too much from what I've never had it, so to me it won't change it at all. So we're going to get all these ingredients together. So we need 3.5 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of the chopped dates, which I'll chop those up in a second, the half cup of chopped white onion, a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, ginger, and allspice. We're going to put that all in the big stock pot, bring to a boil, and reduce to your likeness. And then I'm going to use an emergence blender to blend this all up. So let's get started. So I'm going to try chopping these in this. It might be a bad mistake, but I really don't want to chop them all up with a knife, so we'll see how this works. I know they're going to be sticky. That might have been a bad idea. We'll see. Well, it's definitely sticking. It might have been a bad idea, but it chops it up nice. Like those are nice fine little pieces, but I think this is gonna take more work than it's worth. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop these up. Too much about chopping those dates up really fine because they're going to be cooked down and then immersion blended anyway. The hard part is trying to figure out what's 1.5 cups worth. I think I'm going to cut up just a few more. So I was going to substitute the raisins for cranberries, but rhubarb is already so sour. I was worried that the cranberries would add more sourness, and we need a little bit of sweet that we're going to be putting brown sugar in, but maybe the next batch I make, I'll try the cranberries and we'll see how we do, because I still have a lot of frozen cranberries too that I need to use up. But yeah, I actually thought about trying apples too, because there's apple cider vinegar in this, and I have apples still in my freezer. So we might be experimenting with the next batch. So we're experimenting with this batch because I'm using dates in this one. So we'll see how it goes there. I think that looks more like about 1.5 cups. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to take everything over to the stock pot. So my canner's boiling. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because I won't need it for a bit and I don't want it to boil all the water away. So we're just going to turn it down. So in the pot already I have all the rhubarb. That's the vinegar. And yes, I have homemade apple cider vinegar, but you can't guarantee the acidity. So that's why I'm using the stuff I buy it at Costco. It's pretty economical. It's organic too. Okay, that's all the onion and the dates. If you hear the chickens, it's because I have my door open with the screen because it's that gorgeous here. We are going to be in summer temperatures by the end of the week this week, and I'm not mad about it. Okay, so there's that. And then in here I have the brown sugar, all the spices, and the salt. I'm just gonna scrape that out. Give this a stir. You don't want to watch that boil. It's like watching paint dry. So I'll bring you back when we're ready to blend it. Back up because it's not going to be much longer. I'm going to turn this back on. Right now I say it's about the consistency of an applesauce. I want it just a little bit thicker. And then we will label it up into our jars. Okay, so you're going to need a funnel for this. I think I forgot to mention that. And I think we're just at the right consistency. It smells really good. Okay, so I'm just going to get the air bubbles out. So we got 7 half pints and 1/4 pint, which actually, I'm going to still process this, but this is one we'll probably taste test out of here in just a minute. Okay, so because this is probably sticky with all that sugar, I'm just going to take a little bit of vinegar on a cloth here and wipe down all these rims. My lids will seal properly. So as usual, I am using my 4-jar lids. These are the best lids I have ever used. I love them. And if you use Bucket List Homestead on their website, you'll get another 10% off. And it's coming, friends. It's coming. Canning season is coming. And I didn't put these in boiling water. I did wash them in really hot soapy water, but I didn't boil them. And then we're just going to do finger tight. Put these in the canner in 15 minutes. Actually, I'm going to try that one here. That's good. It's a little sweet, which could be from the dates. So I probably should have backed off on some of the brown sugar. But that's delicious. Wow. That is good. I'm so glad I made that. That's a keeper, friends. That is going to be so good on ribs this week. Okay. And there is, hope you can see that silver thing, that is a shelf in the bottom. And I've turned it down quite a ways so I don't get splashed while I'm putting these in. But I always have my kettle just boiled, so I have a big pot of water boiled if I need to add more hot water to this, but I think we're going to be okay. Perfect, just the right amount of water. Bring this back up to boil, and we don't start our time till it's boiling again. There we have it, 7 1/4 pints of rhubarb barbecue sauce to go into my stockpile on my shelves. It's gonna be a delicious summer. This has been so much fun canning from my freezer. I have many more things planned for the next couple of weeks before garden season really gets busy. I actually have more things to plant later this week too. So this is so much fun, and I love to can. If you are on the fence about water bath canning or pressure canning, I ask you to look at my video, watch my videos. Pressure canning, I'm very new to. I've only been doing it a year. I'm totally addicted to it now. That's the only warning I will give you. Once you start, you won't be able to stop. It is the best feeling to be able to feed your family with home canned, not only things you grew, but things you've made, and just know what you are feeding your family, and to see that security of having it on your shelves. I promise you it is the best feeling, and it's not as hard as you think. I promise you it is not as hard as you think. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So if you're on that fence about it, do it. There's a lot of great deals out there right now too on water bath canners especially. If you go to Marketplace, I know there's a lot because a lot of people got into it 3 years ago and now they're not. So check that out. That one I'm using, that one over there, I actually picked up off Marketplace a couple of summers ago. Just to, it's a shorter one than my other one I have, so sometimes I don't need the really big tall one if I'm not double stacking. So that is the perfect size. So yeah, definitely check out your thrift stores, your yard sales. Check out a lot of the stores because like I said, a lot of them have them on sale right now, and it's an investment, and once you buy it, you'll have it for years. My first water bath canner is almost 30 years old, so they don't go bad as long as you treat them well. I really hope you like this video. Stay tuned for more canning from my freezer videos. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.